Hello everybody. These are the ones that we finished last time, and now we're going to do the final 5 to finish off this week. Come with me. Oh wait, forgot water. All right, we got water, and we have people here. Hello everyone. All right, let's move these bags of stuff I bought. Let's put them over here. Okay. Camera set up. Hole in the table ready to go. Camera plugged in. Here is the Etsy page, although everything I'm going to do today has already sold, but there's more stuff on there. I lowered the prices on all the items, so you can buy some other stuff that I previously made in other weeks and months. So go through here and look, see if there's anything you want to get, because seriously, I've lowered a lot of like $20 items to like $8 and $10, because I just don't want, after 6 months on Etsy, they expire, and then you got to list them again, and I just don't want anything to expire. I'd rather give it away to you guys for free. Not free, but like half price, like way less than half price sometimes. There is a shipping fee of about $4, but if you buy multiple things, each additional thing is only like $1 or less for the added shipping fee. So it's much better to buy 2 or 3 things at once, especially if they're only like $8 or $10. All right, let's begin. We're up to number 65. What is that? I think that's Caesar dressing. That's paint. No, it isn't. That's what's it called? That stuff that you fill up holes in walls with. Spackle. Okay. Number 65. We're doing our 18 gauge antique copper still. This is our 18 gauge antique copper set. We have our beads picked out already. Where did I put them? Here they are. We're doing earth tone beads mostly. Hello to everybody. So all of these are getting the same 5 beads. They're getting a sodalite, a red glass, a unakite, a picture jasper, and some kind of black, either onyx, obsidian, or black jasper. I don't know what it is, but it's a great stone if it's any of those 3. I'm taking about a meter, which is 3 feet roughly, and this 18 gauge copper, and I'm going to try to make the piece all in one piece of wire like before. And all right, so we'll start with picking one of the beads. Start with the unakite at the bottom this time. These are all 6 millimeter, and start by putting one bead at the very middle of the wire, locking it in, and then we pick another bead. Let's pick sodalite to go next. And I'm putting them about an inch apart, or about 2 centimeters apart, and then locking each one in. I'll do the red glass next. And then we'll do the picture jasper. Picture jasper is like a mixture of green, tan, yellow, like a bunch of earth tones. And it looks really cool if you have a big stone and you can see all the stripes and stuff. And these tiny little beads, it just looks like blah. Sometimes it looks cool. Other times it's just like, it's just an earth tone. It just looks like, you know, an earth tone with maybe a little bit of something in there. Unakite, for those people who don't know from last time, Unakite is a really cool blend of olive green and like a salmon peach marbled together. Sodalite is blue and white marbled together. This red glass is just cool. It looks like a cherry to me. And the black is mostly black, but it has little stripes of iridescent gray here and there. So there you go. Anyway, let's put the black on. Lock that in. So basically on all of these, which beads I put where kind of varies, but I start out with one at the bottom and then two going up from each side, and I roll it one way, then the other way, one way, then the other. Each one is about an inch apart. And so the middle one will become the bottom of my piece, and then I put these together like this and start to form like an oval. And inevitably they fall into a pattern where, you know, if I want one to be at the top specifically, I can move it that way. Like I could have done it this way and had that one at the top, or done it this way. So I'm doing it this way to have the black one at the top. But then I just kind of sandwich these in as close as possible, and then I bring these two wires out side by side like this. And I bend it to one side, holding the wire side by side, and then I wrap it around my fingers. You can wrap it around like a small pen or pencil if you want to get like get it totally round, but just wrapping it around your fingers with 18 gauge, it's pretty smooth. It kind of rounds itself out. And then I roll it as tight as I can, or as tight as I want. And now I have, see, I have like a cool shape already for a pendant. So now I'm just gonna lock this in, and then I just do a swirl here, and each time I wrap it around the piece, it locks it in place and also strengthens the whole piece. So I just do a curve, lock it, a curve, lock it, maybe a more ambitious curve where I'll have 1, 2, or 3 curves and then lock it. And sometimes the strands will be together, sometimes they'll be separated until I run out of wire. If I run out of wire down here, I'll make it into a little swirl and shove the swirl in somewhere. If I run out of wire up here, I'll wrap it around this top loop and cut the sharp end and tuck it in right inside the wrap. So that's pretty much the rules. I usually, after this part, I usually start with an S with the 2 strands together. And I told the very funny story. I didn't even look at the comments to see if anybody got it, but last time, how when I was in ceramics, there was this old ceramic teacher who would always talk about, you could get this crack in your ceramic piece that's the shape of an S, and he would say, you gotta be careful of them S cracks. But he didn't say it S, he kind of pronounced it a little differently because he was like from Louisiana or Georgia or something. And so he's saying, you can just imagine, he's saying, talking about S cracks all day long, but it's sounding a little different, and kept saying it. And the first time I heard him, I swear I thought he was saying something else. I didn't know what he was meaning to say. So we wrap that around here, and sometimes if you wrap it around twice, you get it locked in even more than just wrapping it around once. And then I like to put, at some point, I like to put a loop around my bottom bead, because it kind of gives more weight at the bottom. And then you like to separate the strands at some point, so you know they're each doing their own thing. And so then I'll take one strand, start working with it like here, take another strand, maybe this one will come around. I also like to circle around the stones in different ways. It's kind of like a probe going through space. you guys will find this boring if you're not into like astrophysics, but when they send probes to check out different planets and send back radio data to Earth to tell about the planet, take photos and stuff, and take other measurements, they often send the probes out towards one planet. And even if that's not the planet they want to check out, they'll send it towards that planet so it's caught in the gravitational pull of that planet, and it circles around the planet once, and then the gravity flings it, spins it around once and then flings it back out, and they can actually get way more momentum for the probe to then fly out towards the next planet, way more than they could get if they tried to add more fuel to have it just propel itself. It's literally called slingshotting it off of a planet. And it's kind of the same idea as if, like, when you wind up to throw something, you spin your arm like that, like a person in the Olympics or a person pitching. You get the centrifugal force going, and then when you finally release it, it's so much faster. Anyway, a nice little lesson for you guys. I like how this one's coming out so far. And the idea is to get it strong, to have like stabilized wraps everywhere without getting it too busy. So everything that you do is meaningful, and every curve kind of follows a similar pattern to make the whole piece look pretty without being, like I said, overly busy. You don't want too many strands. So this one is pretty much done. It's strong. There's that right there could use a little something. So I'll take what I have of this strand here. Maybe I'll come down one more time like that, and then come up like this. And that's it, we're done. You don't want to get any busier than that, because you will end up it'll just look like a big mess of wire at that point. But because, see, I have most of my strands following the same curves as each other, mirroring off of each other, like paralleling each other, you get that nice, elegant feel to it. And then wrap this around as many times as I want, and then I'm going to cut. And now, again, even if you're up here, if you feel like it needs more something somewhere, you can take one of these strands and wrap it into a little swirl. Put that swirl anywhere it will fit. But I feel like this piece has enough. So I'm going to tuck it in now. And if the person who is present who bought number 65 wants to raise their hand, say me, me, me. Oh, Norma. That's right, you wanted all blue. I did tell Norma I was going to honor her request, even though the rest of these I was already planning to go with. So this will be, we'll jump to the next one. The numbers got all mixed up this time. So we threw in 79 for Barefoot Hippies because it was her birthday, and that was her birthday year, and she wanted 79. That was last time. And we went from 65. We skipped to 67, and then we're up to 71. So it's really mixed up this time. But in any case, the next number would be 67. So whoever bought 67, I can give this to you, and then Norma, I can work on yours with all blue, if you are okay with that. Just finding the jump rings now. You don't have to be a star, baby, to be in my show. All right, Norma says, use please. And Catherine Alonso removed her scandalous message before I could read it. I bet it was really juicy. You don't need no superstar, 'cause I'll accept you as you are. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. You don't have to be a star, baby, to be in my show. I feel like a lot of these songs, they have like a cool theme. Like, you don't have to be a star to be in my show. It's like, that's a cool theme. But that's not enough for a song. So they come up with a cool theme and then they just try to slam it into a song. Like, and I noticed, I'm going to throw out an opinion that's going to really either upset or delight some people, or make other people just have expressed their opinions. Everyone has an opinion on this poor girl, but love or hate or indifferent or just think she's dumb. The young songwriter, who's actually a very good songwriter, Taylor Swift, started out her earlier songs, not all of them, but a lot of her earlier songs had incredible lyrics, very well written lyrics, very deep, very wise, and then she tried to slam them into a melody and just make them fit with, and they wouldn't dance. It doesn't matter how good your lyrics are, they have to dance with the rhythm and the melody. They have to flow, and you can't just slam them in. So later on, I think her songs got better and better, and she learned to like pull back on that. But some of her earlier ones are just, the lyrics, like, they make the tween girls go, yeah, 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 rah, rah, rah. But like the melodies are just, the way she forces the lyrics into the melodies is a little bit atrocious. Yeah, she started in country. Now she's pop. That country and pop is so overlapped. What's Shania Twain? Is she country or pop? How do you answer that? Depends on what you like. Depends on how you want to define it. But generally, there's country pop and urban pop. How about that? Did I make that up, or is that already a phrase? That's how it looks to me. I mean, then you go way out into the country and you have bluegrass and you have folk, which is its own thing. But folk and country overlap like a ton. Stella, these are $20 necklaces. I sell them for $10 on this half price Etsy show, but they're all sold out for this show. So what I'm going to do is have next Friday, this coming Friday, I'm going to have another 10 on sale for people to purchase on the Etsy site. All right, blue. Norma wants blue. I'm looking for blue, Norma. Hold on. Norma, do you want an assortment of blues or just a whole bunch of Sodalite? Because the only blue I was using was Sodalite. But Sodalite has its own characteristics. I'll show you. Like, every piece looks a little different anyway. Hold on, let me put, before I lose it, let me put, this is going to be number 67. Where'd you go? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. 67. All right. So here's a whole bunch of Sodalite right here, right? A lot of character in there. I could add some blue crackle agate that's larger, and I could add some of this dark blue turquoise howlite. Do you want me to mix it all up? Because this blue and this blue don't really go together. This is a very earth tone marble white blue, and this is a very deep greenish blue. And then this is like planet crackle agate blue. So like with my earth tone stuff, I would just do the Sodalite. But I'll let you. I don't even like these turquoise. I don't. Just Sodalite. Good. She said just Sodalite. Sounds good to me. I think that's the best. I think it'll look the best. So let's get a nice assortment here. And that'll be good. All right, where's our anti-coppers? Take ourselves another roughly a meter, 3 feet. And we'll pick one for the bottom. And we're off to the races. It's really wild, too, how Taylor Swift is like. When our first album came out, I mean, she was pretty hot, but like the Kanye West going up on stage and like being insane, doing what nobody has ever done at an award show that I know of or should do, hadn't hurt her at all. If anything, it like boosted her. Um, if anybody knows that story, that was insane. Okay. All right, blue. Now we'll pick another blue because we're doing all blue. Blue today. And now I think we'll pick a blue. Yeah, Beverly's quoting the great Kanye. And the wild thing is, you think he was embarrassed by his performance? He claims he had been drinking and stuff. Do you think I think he issued an apology or something later. Beyonce showed herself to be true class. She gave up her own award speech so she could hand it to Taylor Swift, and so that was like a cute little, not cute, that was like a beautiful moment between the two young ladies. But um, was Kanye introspective? Was he like, man, that was a low point in my life? What was wrong with me? Apparently not, because he did almost the same thing again like 3 years later with the singer Beck. He didn't actually climb up on the stage and steal his mic, but he did go right up to the front of the stage and get his attention in the middle of his acceptance speech of an award and tell him, you don't really deserve that award. Someone else should have gotten it. Again. And Beck, being an older, more mature adult than the young 17-year-old Taylor Swift, instead of being caught off guard and having already seen Kanye do this once before, he burst out laughing and he's like, okay, oh yeah, Kanye, you want to say anything else? Anything else you got for us? Any other words of wisdom? That was funny. And then Beck is like the least known of all of them. He was real popular. He had one breakout hit like in the 90s, but so he's not like superstar, but he's pretty well known among his fans. His diehard fans went crazy and were like, "Don't you know that Beck plays like 19 instruments and he's the most talented of anybody? How dare you say he doesn't deserve? He's been deserving an award for so long." And the rest of the world was like, "Who's Beck?" So again, we get this little pattern like this, and then the middle one becomes the anchor, and then these guys, they kind of stagger around each other. This little dark blue one ended up being at the top. I didn't plan that, but that's kind of cool. Sometimes I like to put the darker ones at the top, or the ones with, I like to pick one that has a little more different character and have it end up at the top. But and then you can roll these back and forth to kind of get them placed where you want. But these two are like twins. Look at that. Maybe I should do it this way, because that way the twins are still going to end up next to each other no matter what. So let's do this. It's like Neptune and what they now call Uranus, because they're all of the astronomy people are embarrassed by all the frat guys joking about what they used to call the planet Uranus. They got teased so much they couldn't stand it, so now everybody agreed to call it Uranus. The public hasn't figured it out yet, but you go to any astronomy video, everyone calls it Uranus now, which is goofy. But Uranus and Neptune are like twins. They're both kind of bluish green, and they're both pretty close in size, and they're both kind of made up of similar elements and compounds and junk. So we got these little twin planets here. They're both kind of similar, blue and white. And then this one's marbled a little darker, and then this one is like more kind of uniform color. They all have a lot of character, and then this one is like extra dark. See, it's blue. It's definitely got the blue in there, but then it gets really dark on one side. All right, so we're locking that in, and then we're going to do our S curve. And hopefully I won't have to keep telling you every week about the story about the pottery teacher and his love of the S, telling everybody about the S crack. All right, come around here. Wrap that one right there. That's locked in. We'll have this one. We'll do the same thing because that came out really good on the last one. We'll have this one S its way, curve its way back up all the way up here, and lock it right at the top. And then we will take this one. Whoops. Take this one and we'll mirror this curve here. No, I don't like that. What am I doing with this guy? We'll just have him come around there. Fold that over. All right, this one will have this one come up like that, and he's done. All right, now do we need anything else? In strength-wise, it's pretty strong. It's very strong. It's pretty cool. It's funky. It's different, but it's fun. This wire coming straight up is the only one that's like, it's cool, but everything is curving except that wire is just coming straight up. See if I can do anything different with that. Maybe just give it a little bit of a bend. You gotta be careful. You don't want to, if you're doing really wide and luxurious curves, you don't want to like suddenly put a sharp corner in there either, because that's, so if you're trying to turn a straight line into a curve and it's already in one spot, you gotta be real careful how you do it. You don't want to scratch it either. I almost scratched it right there. Yeah, I don't even know where that straight line went. Wherever it went, I successfully turned it into a curve because now I don't see a straight line. Okay, cool. Let's wrap this guy up. We'll do it one or two around with that. I'm really liking how this pattern is. See, I tell everybody, do something 100 times and then you'll get really good at it, even if you're horrible the first 15 times. And so here, I've been doing this pattern, this pretty much the same similar pattern for about 3 weeks now, doing 10 of them every week. And now I'm really getting it down to like, it's much less like just random. It's far more specified and it's working. So I'm putting less effort into each piece as far as overthinking it. And I feel like each piece is coming out even better and better as far as to the elegance to work ratio. Less work, more elegance. And that's what you want as an artist. You don't want to kill yourself There's no. I mean, I'll tell you to work harder than anybody else, but don't think that just working hard alone, you've got to do the work smart part too. And that's where you learn to hone and hone and hone until the ratio of work to elegance is very, very, very much in your favor. Okay, jump ring time. And you guys don't know, I've been doing this for years. For years, I've been experimenting with wire, not to, try to reinvent the wheel and not to make the most phenomenal, breathtaking pieces that would go in a museum, because there are other wire wrappers who do that, and it takes 8 to 15 hours to do a single piece. But to try to come up with patterns that can be done really fast and yet still sell for a decent amount, not a high amount, because my audience, wherever I would go, the price point for my audience was always somewhere between 5 and 45. So basically, the real guts of my audience was really between 10 and $25. So I had to make pieces that would wow their senses, but I could knock them out really quick, because I would go to shows where sometimes a show cost me $200 for one day, sometimes $300 for one day if I was at a really big show. So I had to knock out $300 worth of product before I even started to break even. That might sound insane, but a lot of these shows towards the end, you could break 1,000 day after day after day. So once you knock out your 300, then you're working your way towards 1,000. Then you walk home with $700 profit. And you might say, $700 a day, you must be rich. Well, we're talking about one show, one show in months of time, like maybe one of these shows once a month. So there's a lot of downtime, a lot of days you make nothing. A lot of days you're just traveling and you're just spending money on food and gas. So, it evens out. But it's a fun way that you can actually, if you can actually live that way and not be starving or eating ramen noodles and turkey hot dogs and living on your mom or your uncle's couch. All right, I'm blabbing too much. Let's get on with this. So this is 65 for Norma. Still got Elton John stuck in my head. When are you gonna come down? I have to say, as much as those lyrics are weird on a lot of his songs, Elton John, who wrote the music, he was handed the lyrics, as far as I know, by his lyricist writer guy, and then he would write the music. And phenomenal. The way he fit the lyrics into the music and the beautiful melodies he wrote, like phenomenal. Elton John, phenomenal. You know what else I was thinking? As I pick out my next beads, let's pick out the wire first. Let's do another. This is going to be 68. I was just thinking today, they were playing on the station I was listening to. They're doing Billy Joel all weekend. And I was like, oh, Billy Joel all weekend. I can deal with that. And then all of a sudden, and then I'm thinking to myself, Billy Joel reminds me of the Beatles. Like, Billy Joel, he has a better voice than the Beatles. Not phenomenally better, but definitely a stronger voice. But his songwriting is definitely as good as their songwriting. Some ways they had the most catchy hooks you could ever come up with. But he's definitely a contender, and his storytelling songs are just unparalleled. And the psychology in his songs is phenomenal. So he's a great songwriter. Great, one of the best. And I thought, I wonder, Billy Joel's like 10 years younger than the Beatles. I wonder if he came up and was inspired by them. And sure enough, the next song on this radio station was Billy Joel doing his version of a Paul McCartney Wings song. And it was absolutely horrible. Like, Billy Joel has enough of his own songs. He's so prolific. Why would he pick a Wings song Why? And it was a Bad Wings song. It was the one you guys might like it. I can't stand. I don't. I can't. Not that I can't stand it. It's just not a great song. It was the song. What song was it? There's only like five Wings songs that were really that popular. I think that played on the radio that much. But uh, it was that one where the piano goes down, na 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 na. Yo, yeah, baby, I know I'm amazed by the way I love you all the time. Honey, I'm amazed by the way I love you. Da na 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 na. Baby, I'm amazed by the way you bat me out of line, put me out of line. Baby, I'm amazed by the way I really love you. Anyway, that song, Paul McCartney does it great. It's not a great song. I mean, it's not my favorite. It's okay. Billy Joel sounded like a drunk, angry version of Paul McCartney. All the instrumental was exactly the same. Everything was the same. It just sounded like completely atrocious. And I was like, Billy Joel, what are you doing? Why would you do that? If you're going to do a Beatles song, pick one of their good songs to do, first of all. Secondly, like if you're that talented, you're going to redo a Paul McCartney song, at least make it sound different. I mean, the vocal inflections, everything was exactly the same, except he sounded angry and drunk. Where Paul McCartney has like a very smooth voice. It's not powerful, but it's smooth. Baby, I'm amazed by the way I love you. There's Paul McCartney. And Billy Joel was like, baby, I'm amazed by the way I look. Like, he was all gruff and scratchy. And do me a favor, don't Google that song if you want. Like, just save yourself. I'm going to get a different bead. Hold on. I want to get a different unikite for this one. Where I put my unikite. There they are. All right. There's two in there. There's the picture jasper and the unikite. They're like kind of similar looking. All right. How do you say your name? Eruis? 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 Eruis. I like that. Eruis. I'm giving you 3 syllables. If that's not how you were named, you can now claim that. That's my gift to you. Eruis. But, is that good? Is that far enough away? How about like this? There we go. See, now you can see all the colors. Much better, right? Looks like an apple. Looks like one of those, it's a little overripe. All right. This one is coming up right there. This one, have it come up right here. All right, that's strong. That's good. This one is going to become a swirl. I'll cut off a little bit. Stop it. You get really good at something and then you get lazy and you just assume it'll always work, and then all of a sudden it stops working again and you're like, I got really good at just pinching these without it slipping. And then next thing I know, I'm just assuming I don't even need to think about it and it starts slipping again. So rather than be introspective, the important thing at that point is to step back and yell at the wire, because it's generally the wire's fault, not yours. All right, let's cut that one off. And tuck it in. And right there is number 68. Let's get some jump rings. Why do I keep closing up the jump ring container? I just leave it open. I should have an assistant here, a paid assistant, to just add the jump rings. I genuinely hate doing small, tedious tasks that I have done over and over again that are necessary, but just take absolutely no brain thought, no imagination. They're just like laundry. I need to hire someone just to do laundry. Space Kitten knows what I'm talking about. Space Kitten and I are on the same wavelength. We're vibrating on the same resonance. Thank you, Tracy. I genuinely have been reading like 5% of the comments this time. This is the worst ever. I'm getting really, really bad at that. So you might have like 15 different 15 different fascinating comments that I might have really appreciated, and I'll just miss them because I didn't look at the screen. It's not just looking at the screen either. The comments disappear. The way they have it set up here, the comments just disappear, and I have to actually physically touch the screen with my finger to make them reappear. So when my hands are all full of this stuff, stopping to keep touching the screen, and then they only stay on the screen for like 5-7 seconds, and then they fade out again. Whoever came up with that idea, I don't know. But in any case, that's partly why I missed the comments. It's the format's fault. Always blame something other than yourself. That's what I find. Well, Amanda, I thank you for talking amongst yourselves. You all have some pretty strong personalities there, so you guys can keep each other entertained, and I do appreciate that. And I'm not joking either. I will say, Beverly, for all of your sharp paying attention and commenting on everything, totally missed what I said about number 66, but that's okay. Somebody please tell her, or maybe it was my fault. Maybe I thought I told you and I didn't. Did anybody hear what I said? Did it, 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 did it. I know it's been coming for some time. And I know, shining down like water. This Zoom thing is really irritating. Nah, it sounds like I'm crying. I'm just trying to get my vocal cords to work on that note. I'm so tired of being hoarse. I want to know. If I only went down to like a tone and a half, I'd be fine. I want to know. Have you ever seen the rain? See, that one is kind of tolerable, but I want to know. But if you go, I want to know. Have you ever seen the rain? It's like, yeah, I've seen the rain, but you sound like a dead, dying horse over there, buddy. Might want to get something looked at. I want to know. You ever stop at a gas station and some old guy comes up to you in a pickup truck and says, hey, miss, come here for a second. And you're like, oh, no. And you start to like slowly take a few steps over. And he goes, I want to know. You just turn around and run. If he started the conversation that way. Hey, miss, I want to know. Have you ever seen the rain? You would leave at that point, I bet. Coming down on the train. I don't even know what he says there. Have you ever seen the rain coming down on the train? Is that what he says? Now I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on the train? Boop biddy beep biddy beam. Omer bow boo doo doo. Ba da ba da ba da da. I know it's been coming for some time. Ya da 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 da. Oh, I folded these wrong. It should be like this. That one should be like that. And that one should be like that. There we go. I fixed it. Now, like, why do these look wrong? I folded them wrong. That one should be like that. And, okay, now they're right. All right. Okay. Day and every day. How about those for some lyrics? I used to love to make you cry. It made me feel like a man inside. How, how would you like that? I know it's just some goofy songwriter who's like, yeah, that sounds good. Like, so how do you like that on a Hallmark card? Hey baby, I used to love to make you cry. It made me feel like a man inside. Is there any coming back from that? It's like I finally learned my lesson because now that I lost you, now I finally see I was wrong. But if you had never left, I would have just continued making you cry till the end of time and feeling great about it because it made me feel like a man. Even as a little kid, I used to listen to that lyric and be like, "What? What the heck was wrong with people in the '60s? Is that really how they were?" And then there's some of you are going to be like, "Oh, you should see my dysfunctional ex-husband." That ain't really fiction going on there. That's a real thing. Well, he's going to be working his way back to her. He's got his work cut out for him after that line. But he's coming back with a burning love inside, so there might still be hope for the happiness that died. Was there any happiness when his greatest joy was making her cry? And the singing is so pretty. You just don't. You can't like all those women in the audience back then swaying, snapping their fingers, clapping their hands. Oh, I would like me some of him. You can make me cry. If that makes you feel like a man inside, as long as you keep hitting them high notes. And then some people will say, don't be so hard on him. He's honest. There's a lot of really toxic people out there that do that and they can't admit it. I'll keep working my way back to you, babe. Yeah, I'm working my way back to you, babe. And the happiness that died, I'll let it get away. Day and every day. You always got that bass player has to have his one line. Today and every day. It's like, all right, Mr. Bass Player, we're gonna pay you some money. You're gonna sit up here and you're gonna dance with all the other backup singers. You're gonna dance to the left, dance to the right, put one foot in, throw a snap down at the ground, pull your arm back, and the whole time you're just gonna be doing do. And then at one point you're gonna get your own line, and it's gonna be like today and every day. There's probably some woman in the audience who can't wait for that line. That deep, deep voice makes her go, woo! Isn't it funny? You can't be a lead singer if you're a bass. It just doesn't work. Pretty much every lead singer that's a male of all time have always been tenors. Maybe a baritone once in a great while. You got Lou Rawls in there. Lou Rawls is kind of a bass. He was like a bassy baritone. And then you got, well, yeah, okay, you got, what's his name? Barry White. And but like they're almost known not for being singers, but they're known for how deep their voice is. Not how pretty their voice is, how deep it is. It's like, it's almost a caricature. About Tom Jones. You think Tom Jones is a baritone? He's got that deep, rich voice. He can go pretty high though too, but it sounds big and deep even when he goes high. Now they're playing this song. Sunshine come another day. Don't feel much like laughing. Ba da 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 da. Ba dee 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 dee. Time it ba da ba. I'll buy it. Da 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 da. I'll try it. He can't even run his own life. I'll be damned if he'll run mine. Sunshine. I don't know quite what that song is about, but I like that. I like everything about that song. It's a fun song. Now they're playing Moulin Rouge. That song was a fun song when it first came out. It was a fun song when it was remade by a whole bunch of singers, like in 2002 or something, 2004. Moulin Rouge. Oh wait, it's not Moon. Is it Moulin Rouge? Am I thinking of, what is it? The Soul Sister, Soul Sister. No, Lady Marmalade, Lady Marmalade, whatever. That's not Moulin Rouge. That's a different, right? Am I right? Better met, Lady Marmalade. Gitchy, ya, ya, ga. Is cooing to a baby at some point or something I don't want to know about. Gitchy, ya, ya, bee. Mocha chocolate, ha. Free your lady, mama, la, da 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 da. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Voulez-vous bouquet avec moi? I took French too, and I'm like butchering that. I actually know every line of that, but so Eruis, that is how you pronounce it, Eruis. Who sang the original? That was a singer who could really belt. It was a couple. Was it like a collage of singers the first time too? So when they remade it, they got all these singers together. They got Christina Aguilera who could belt out. Actually, they could have had her by herself, but then they threw Pink in there and they threw in Missy or I don't know some couple other singers that just went. They threw in a rap or two and she just went like a machine gun Yoris. Okay, well, anyway, it looks like Eris to me because I don't see the U until I look carefully. So I just wanted to tell you that Eris is the second most massive planet after Pluto. Pluto got demoted to a dwarf planet in 2006, and everybody was mad because they loved Pluto emotionally. We had 9 planets, and we loved Pluto. But did I tell you guys about this in another show? It had to be done. I was mad too. I made a whole mural at this elementary school I was teaching. I put Pluto there. It was the year it was demoted. Everybody said you can't put Pluto. It was demoted. I was like, I could do whatever I want. I'm painting the mural, and I put Pluto in there. But Pluto is smaller than our moon. It's so freaking tiny. That's not enough to demote it. But it turns out Pluto is in an entire belt like the asteroid belt, but further out. It's called the Kuiper belt. It's out. It surrounds the wider, makes a wider orbit around the rest of the planets in the sun. And there are literally thousands of little planetoid type asteroids and large asteroids and things the size, almost the size of Pluto. And Pluto just kind of blends in with all of them. And then there's Eris, which is pretty much the same, almost the same exact size as Pluto, might actually be more massive, meaning it's denser. It has more matter inside of it, even though it's physically a little smaller. But Eris is almost the same size as Pluto. We didn't discover Eris because Pluto has more reflective, a more reflective surface. That's why Pluto was discovered back in 1930. Oh, that's 68. What am I doing? This one is going to be 70. We skipped 69. We went right to 79. That was Barefoot Hippie's present for her birthday. So Eris is a pretty name for a planet, I think. Eris is really interesting. They're just starting to study it now. So this will be 70, I guess. I got one more to go. Ooh, I'm making good time. Making good time. Knocking them out. All right. So Pluto is now considered a dwarf planet. So, you know, it's funny. Pluto has some moons too. How come we only have one moon? All these other planets have like a gazillion moons. You know, I thought about this when I was in high school. Jupiter had 12 moons, and I think Saturn had like 6 moons or 7. Now I just looked it up. Jupiter has like 85 moons, and Saturn has like 86 moons. You know what that means? Between the time I was in high school and now, Jupiter and Saturn got a little crazy out there. Now they both have this huge family of moons. That's all I'm saying. You turn your back on Jupiter and Saturn for a few years, and what happens? Now everybody's fascinated with the moons. They figured out it's pretty impossible for life to exist on any of the other planets, at least life as we know it, because who knows how other life forms could possibly exist. But the conditions on any other planet are, if you took any life form from Earth and stuck it on any of the other planets, they would die 17 different ways in seconds. Everything on that planet would kill it. So now they're starting to investigate all the moons because some of the moons look more promising for possible life forms to exist. It's kind of funny, right? So they're excited now because now there's literally like 150 moons in the solar system. It's crazy. Some of them are tiny, but we have actually a very large moon compared to the size of our planet. It's really, really... that just crumbled. That soda light just crumbled as I made the bend. Look at that. I'll be crying, 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 crying over you, soda light, over you, soda light. Let's put another soda light in there, see if we'll make it live. I believe soda light can live again. Ugh, now I scratched the wire. This soda light scratched the stone. All right, let's start a new wire. We'll put this wire aside. You guys are looking at a beautiful black tabletop. It's like looking at space. Most of space is completely empty as far as we know. Yeah, they're trying to figure out what dark matter and dark energy is. They have yet to see it, to detect it, to measure it. It's only theoretically there because everything in space is behaving in a way that it should only behave if there is a presence of another type of matter and energy there. So right now it's a mystery. That's why it's dark. That's why it's called dark. All right. I don't like these Mount Unikite. Let me grab a different one again. A black hole is different. A black hole is when a star dies and it compresses down, 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 down into the most massive, not the most massive, the most dense thing in the universe that we know of. It's so dense that it's like like a single marble-sized black hole will have more matter inside of it than an entire city in on a normal planet, or an entire mountain. There'll be more matter in the marble than there would be in a whole mountain. Something like that, something along those lines. And then it gets even weirder from there. Like, I don't even like to get into how weird it is. I'm not even sure I like some of those theories yet. They're still being developed, and my very, very skeptical brain is not sure it wants to accept some of them. But black hole is in the, I don't like that. That sodalite is starting to fall apart. These sodalite are really like not as hard as some other stones. Oh, that's a better one. Okay. Oh wait, I already did sodalite. Why am I doing sodalite again? Getting mixed up here. All right, let's do a red glass. Oh, I know I'm off camera. I'm looking for beads. There's nothing going on. You're not missing anything. Trust me. I was trying to figure. I was trying to find a. I was getting really picky with the beads. I was trying to figure out which one I wanted next. Okay. Oops, wrong side. No, that's the right side. All right, here we have it. Here's our configuration. Trying to roll these to get them where I want them. I should have made them tighter. I keep forgetting I want to make them tighter because it works out better when I make them a little tighter, a little less than an inch apart, more like a 3/4 of an inch. All right, that'll work for now. And this one, we're coming around the opposite way. That's okay. Let's still make it work. Stop doing that. Stay. It's making that weird. We'll fix that later. These crossed over. I'm trying to figure out where. There we are. Okay. Another thing I find is the more I hesitate and overthink where to put the stuff, the worse it comes out. The more I just move and just keep moving with the swirls, I mean the curves and stuff, the more it just comes out more fluid. Like there's something to be said for like speed. Just keep moving. And it's not speed like you want to stress yourself out and push yourself to move too fast. It's more like don't hesitate. Just keep going with it. Just go with it and then go with it and then go with it and then go with it. And it'll work. As soon as you hesitate for too long, you might find yourself overthinking it. And next thing you know, you're doing something you don't want to do. See, that was bothering me for a moment because that curve I felt stuck out too much, but then I came around here and I came around here. Now I love how it came together. This one is a little bit more vivacious, a little curvier. This guy is a little more like a va-va-voom. Or should I say this guy or this gal? I'm trying to decide if I just want to finish it or put a swirl somewhere. Let's tuck this one in. We'll finish this one and see. Put a swirl right there. What would that look? Well, let's find out. And you got Rod Stewart now. You wear it well. Little old fashioned, but that's okay. Oh, yeah. Don't forget that you were once mine. Now I'm eating my heart out, trying to get back to you. Sounds like he was one of those guys who used to love to make her cry, made him feel like a man inside. Now he's trying to get back, working his way back to her again. So that's the same old scenario. Swirl or no swirl? Yeah. Kind of like the swirl. Or is it too much? Nah. Let's do no swirl. I shouldn't have asked you guys, because now you're all going to say, swirl, I want the swirl. Too late. Keep it simpler. I was a little too busy with the swirl. My gut was to not go with the swirl, but I decided to try it both ways. Just go with your gut. You wear it well, little old fashioned, but that's all right. Oh, yeah. And that one lays really nicely. No, I just ate right before this. That's why I was on like a minute late. I was trying to finish off this stuffed cheese pretzel. Big soft pretzel stuffed with cheddar cheese. And Wawa started making fresh Caesar salad. They have these pre-made salads that would sit in the fridge, and they were like, blech. But they just started making fresh to order salads, and I got a little Caesar salad, and it had the really good Caesar dressing, and I was like, oh. So I was like, I was eating all kinds of romaine lettuce right before logging on. You guys missed it. It was a sight to behold. I was like, Everybody remember Teddy? Remember Teddy the cat? Lydia adopted Teddy. Teddy used to eat. I used to film him eating. He would eat he would purr really loud like a bear, and then he would growl while he ate, and it sounded like He sounded like a cartoon character. It was so funny. He was a cat, by the way. He was named Teddy, but he was a cat. He was a giant cat. A giant cat. He was like a good 13-pounder, but he wasn't fat. He was just big. He might have been a little fat. All right, number 71. Where are you? 71. Lots of fun for 71. There you are, 71. Okay, that's our show for tonight, folks. Check out Etsy.com to make sure you have it saved in your saved spot. Somebody tell them how they can mark it so that anytime I post something new, they'll get a little notification. Because next week, what I usually do, I'll give you guys a hint because you're here paying attention. I usually post the 10 items about 20 minutes before the show. I always try to do it sooner, but I always end up doing it the last 20 minutes before the show. I end up posting the 10 numbers. So that's when you want to jump in and grab one. If you want to, grab, you don't want to wait to see me make it. By the time I made it, somebody already paid for it. So if you don't want to miss out, Friday, around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, start looking on your Etsy. Somewhere between 6:30 and 6:55, I'll be posting all of them, and you'll get to see. You'll get to pick one if you want. And also go to Etsy now because again, I have a lot of ton of stuff that's like I marked down to half price because I just wanted to move. I'd rather you guys get something than have it sit there for a year. Even if I get double the price, I'd rather have it just move. It's always been my thing. Like keep it moving. So anyway, hi, and you wear it well. Little old fashioned, but that's all right. I'm not going to sing or play for you guys. I'm really going to try to save my voice as much as possible. I think talking like this, where I resonate, is good on the voice, but when I talk like this, it tends to wear it out. And when I sing, if I can keep it resonant, I think it's okay. But when I start singing all over the place, I don't think it's good. So anyway, I want to try to heal my voice over the next few weeks. And hopefully I can come back like as if I was never hoarse. Hopefully there's no permanent damage anywhere, God forbid. So see you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Sorry, this is a shorter show, but then again, you didn't even know this was going to be a show until I told you on Friday. I'll do a Sunday show once again. So, yeah, check out the Etsy store. Sign up for notifications. And I'll see you guys Tuesday night. We're just going to have a hangout night. We'll play a lot of guitar and sing and stuff, probably, as long as I'm not too hoarse. Have a great rest of your weekend. Relax. Look for the 30-day check-in video soon. In the next hour, I'll probably put it up. And seriously, join the 30-day challenge. Do a little exercise every day. You'll feel so good. Or do whatever you need. Drink water. Clean out a drawer every day. Something. When you do a little bit each day and you commit to it, by the end of the month, you'll feel amazing. Okay? All right. Bye. I'll try to think of new songs. I'll just write some songs. Wise men say all the songs will come, but I just say I want to sing the old ones again. See ya.